Welcome back, I'm here. Today I have for you a horror story that is very disturbing. It was sent to me by one of my subscribers who wishes to remain anonymous. I will be reading it exactly how she wrote it, so if anything, I apologize for any mistakes or misspellings. Without further ado, let's begin. It was when I was about 16 years old. I had just started driving and had recently gotten my license. I was known for giving my friends rides, but this particular night would change all of that. My parents were away visiting family for the weekend, and I had invited my 3 best friends over to watch a movie. Since my parents weren't home, we decided to stay up late and watch a horror movie. We watched all the classics: A Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, and many more. But one movie stood out from the rest, The Exorcist. We were watching the movie around 2 in the morning. Of course, we had snacks and drinks ready, since we were going to finish off the whole bag of microwave popcorn. Halfway through the movie, my friend turns to me and says, "Hey, let's play Bloody Mary in the bathroom." At first I thought, Bloody Mary, what? But then she explained that you turn off all of the lights, stare directly at the mirror, and say her name 10 times, and she will appear behind you. I thought it was ridiculous. How could she be behind me if she was only in the mirror? Plus, I didn't want to upset the balance of the movie, so I said no. About 10 minutes later, she asks again. And being the annoying friend that I am, I say, "Fine, but don't be mad when she scares you and you run crying to me." Her eyes widened, and then she yelled, "Okay," ran into the bathroom. The rest of us followed. The bathroom was pretty small. It barely fit the sink, toilet, and the medicine cabinet with the mirror. In the dim light coming from under the door, we could see her standing in front of the mirror. "Are you sure you want to do this?" I asked. She took a deep breath, nodded, and turned off the light. As we stood there waiting for her to start, the toilet started running. All 4 of us screamed and tried to find the switch in the pitch-black room. When we finally found it and turned the water off, we heard a voice behind us. All 4 of us started to panic, screaming and running for the door. As I ran, I felt something brush against my leg. I don't know if it was a person or what, but it felt like fingernails dragging down my shin. We burst through the bathroom door and made it to my room without anyone saying a word. Once we got to my bed, we started talking in hushed voices about what we had just experienced. One of my friends insisted that we call my parents right then and there, but we decided to wait until morning. I remember laying in bed that night, unable to sleep. I kept replaying the moment in my head when something brushed against my leg. What if it wasn't Bloody Mary? What if it was something else? Was it a demon? Now that I think about it, the scratches on my leg should have been a sign. 7 a.m., my mom was supposed to be back. I called her, but it went straight to voicemail. I called again and again, but each time it went to voicemail. I was getting scared. Why wouldn't my mom answer her phone? Had something happened to her? I decided to get out of bed and go downstairs to check the messages on our answering machine. There were 2 messages, both from my mom. I hit play and my blood ran cold. It was the same raspy voice from the bathroom. It said, "Hi, I just wanted to let you know that I won't be back tonight. We had a car accident, and your dad's phone is dead. I'll call back later. Love you." After I hung up, I noticed a 3rd message. I hadn't noticed it before because it was blocked out. The date said July. My mom left that message on July. She isn't even back yet, and it's already August. Where are my parents? What happened to them? I remembered that we had a spare key hidden outside. Maybe whoever this was knew where they hid the key. I grabbed my baseball bat, not knowing what else to grab, and crept towards the front door. Outside, I searched frantically for the key. It was supposed to be near the flower pot. I looked and looked, but it was nowhere to be found. I was scared. What if it was too late? What if whatever did this to my parents was still here? Then I saw it. It was taped to the door. I unlocked the door and walked inside. As I walked in, I noticed that everything was overturned. The picture frames on the wall were on the ground, and all of our furniture had been moved. That's when I heard it again. The raspy voice said, "Looking for something." Startled, I dropped my bat. It was in the house. I backed away slowly and tripped on the rug. As I fell, I looked up and saw a figure standing above me. I screamed. The figure started to walk towards me, dragging its feet. I don't know how long I stayed on the floor, but it felt like forever. Finally, I worked up enough courage to stand up and run. I ran to my room and locked myself in. I heard scratching at my door. I could hear it breathing heavily. Then it stopped. I waited a few seconds, but I couldn't take it anymore. I opened the door and started to walk out. As I walked past the bathroom, I heard it again. This time it was clear. It said my name. I ignored it and kept walking. After that day, I never played Bloody Mary ever again. Every time I pass a bathroom, I make sure the door is open. If it's locked, I don't go in. And if someone else locks it, I leave immediately. And that was the story. She played a game with a demon. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more stories like these, then subscribe. Also, don't forget to share these videos with your friends. I would greatly appreciate it if you did. I'm planning on making a part 2 of Scary Game, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye.